How are we going, everybody? Now today I'm going to be sowing some more big Malacca tomato seeds. I don't have enough to sell anymore online. We have sold out. This is the last of them. Well, they're in here. And this is from my good friend Marianthi, the 2.48 kilogram per tomato. So this is what I'm sowing. I've sown some of my own ones. Now you remember I told you about mine going backwards. They haven't progressed yet, still early days, but I'm just playing it safe. I'm going to sow some more. But what I'm going to do this time, rather than going into the cell tray, the 32 cell tray, or these jiffy pots here, or peat pots they're called, I'm going to use these plugs. I'm going to actually sow them in here, but what I'm going to do is swell them out. They're a compressed peat with a biodegradable mesh over the outside of it, and you'll see in a second what it looks like when it swells out. But before I put it in, I'm going to sit them in this tray here. I'm doing 32 because I'm going to put a cell tray on top of it with these peat pots in it as well. So that's all I need. But first, I've got some water in here, and I need to soak the jiffy pods in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of smoke water. Now, smoke water, if you know all about carbon and all that, hey, after fires you find all the understory plants and all the seeds, doesn't need much, all the seeds that have been hibernating otherwise in the soil germinate. When there's carbon in the soil, it actually stimulates growth. So, and that's what smoke water does. So it emulates as if there was a fire, and after the fire, all the new vegetation comes through. So now I've got liquid gold and smoke water in here, only a dribble of each, and I'm going to put these in to soak. There is a top side and bottom side on these. See the little dimple in the middle? That's the top side. So they need to absorb all this water, swell out, and then we're going to put our little seeds in there. All those little jiffy pots are swelling out, folks. Have a look at these. These are the ones that I'm talking about that have been struggling. I know many of you have sown your own and probably after me, and they've already twice the size, These had to be transplanted because they were growing in the jiffy, in the cell pot, cell tray, that one down there, don't mind the mess, like that. And I've taken them straight out of there because the soil became stagnant, meaning it was holding too much moisture. It was drying out on top, and this is something you've got to be careful as well, because it's the first time it's happened to me. I was looking at it from up here. You know how I am 6 foot tall. I can't tell. I'm not looking down at them. I'm looking up or across at them, and it looked like the soil was dry on the surface. And then I would water it again. And because it's sitting in this cell tray, great little thing, but for the little tomatoes, they were struggling in it. There was too much moisture sitting in here. And there's only a little hole at the bottom, which is enough for drainage, but I was overwatering, coupled with the fact that we had some really cold nights, frosty nights, -1, -2 degrees, and it's out here. We've got a little bit of plastic on top and this lid on here. It wasn't enough to keep the temperature in, and I have to be honest, I did leave the lid off one night, which could have caused them to really go backwards as well. Look, they're upright, they're not dead, they haven't wilted, they've just gone to sleep on me, they're not wanting to move on. I've got them on here, they're at 22.3 degrees temperature. The heat mats are on. This is the giant heat mat under here, that's nice and warm. You can see these ones here that were sown later. I've got 2 here as well. Look at them, they're all the capsicums, they're doing really well. They're starting to really put on some size back there. They love the heat. So do tomatoes. These are my little Malaccas. They look a lot better. They actually look like they're moving along really well. All the basil's taken off. That needs a little bit of water there. So this is a small cell tray, 72 cell tray, and that does dry out a lot quicker. So you can not overwater these. It's quite safe. Whereas the 32 cell tray, it can get a bit waterlogged. So be careful with that. But this time round, I'm going to give them a go in here. Look, they've already swollen up. They need a little bit more water. See, they're not quite even all the way around. Still a bit firm in there. I'm just going to add a little bit more water over the top. Doesn't have to be hot water, folks. That's it. Just give them a few more seconds, and then we're going to plant our little seeds inside them. So they're all ready to go now. We're going to put 1 seed in each one, folks. There's a little dimple in the middle. I'm going to drop it in there carefully, like that, and just press it in. Cover it. That's it. Now my hands are going to be wet, so I've got to be very careful. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Oh, wait a second. What did I do? There was that one there, wasn't it? Okay, folks. We're going to have a system here. We can't do it like that. Let's line them up. Otherwise, I'll be planting in the same one multiple times. And the last one just there, folks. Come on, go in. Now, you don't leave them on top like that. They need to be pressed in a little bit. So I'm just going to push it down like that and cover it. So once they're covered, that's all they need. They don't need to go too deep. If you put them in too deep, they'll just take all that longer to germinate. And sometimes if they are way too deep, they may not germinate at all. So just enough to cover them from direct sunlight is all they need, and they'll find their way through. And the lucky last one again. Now folks, this is what you can do as well. If you haven't sown your tomatoes, it's never too late, that's for sure. Mini hothouse, you need a little hothouse to keep them nice and warm. They won't do any good outside. If you haven't got a mini hothouse, you can use a polystyrene box. This is what I'm using, the mini hothouse with its tray there, high dome it's called. You don't need much more than that. Keep them inside. If you haven't got a heat mat and thermostat, that's fine as well, as long as you keep them inside. They're no good outside like this. So I'm putting them in my little mobile hothouse like this on the heat mat. This is a jumbo heat mat that we have. It holds 4 high dome hothouses. Time to close these vents because it's night time, and we open them up in the morning again. There you go, that's all you got to do. And you too folks, sow your tomato seeds, capsicum, cucumber, whatever you like. Get it ready now so you can plant out in springtime. And if you're watching this just as it's been uploaded, tune into 3AW Radio. It's Weekend Gardening with me and Darren James, talking about gardening. Love to hear from you. Give us a call, share us your ideas and tips and advice, and maybe you've got a problem, we'll try and solve it for you as well. And also don't forget our Get Ready for Spring sale, folks. It's one of our biggest one ever, up to 70% off everything online. Black grid, 75% off. We've got 4 kilos, 4 kilos for $20. It's unheard of. Check it all out, vasilisgarden.com. It's not going to last long, so don't miss out. From me, Vasily, Maresi.